Yo. I'm the Englishman with cash in the vault, living in large in Singapore. No need for a hole. Got my condo in Orchard. The skyline so fine. From the malls to the beach, living life divine. Commentating rugby, listen to me. I'm Mark Edwards, DADOGG.
More or nothing.
Hello, and thanks for joining us on this week's episode of More or Nothing with Ryan and Max, here to break down what was a very, very dramatic round of Six Nations rugby. It's good to finally have Max being able to talk up some England performance, and we can also get stuck into Ryan as well. What is up, Max? You're ready? You're ready. What's up?
Oh, we're on.
Yeah, we're on, mate.
We're live. We're live and kicking, baby.
Fantastic. Gents, how are we? Are we well? Are we very well?
I don't know. Have we ever seen Mark with a cap on the podcast? It feels a bit weird.
My hair's so long now because I've been ill all week. I don't want to impose that on a barber, like just sat there like coughing on them. So I'm like, okay. So I'm wearing a cap so I don't look ridiculous. But that illness that I picked up in Dublin last week or wherever, or maybe even in Glasgow, it's still with me.
No, don't blame Glasgow.
Well, you got it.
Yeah, but I got it off you and you were in Dublin.
We don't know that. We don't know that you didn't give it to me. Max,
did he turn up complete write-off? Us in that ramen shop, what a state this man was in. You're telling me
Go back to that.
Leave that alone.
That was nice though.
Do you know what? I haven't laughed like that in a long time. My sides hurt from the amount we laughed in that ramen shop.
A chuckle. We really got into some hypotheticals there. Really.
Can you imagine if we were able to actually say what we wanted?
No, we can't. And I don't want it. Let's not talk about any of it.
Also, ramen or pho? Like ramen's good, right? But I think I'm more of a pho guy.
Really?
Why are you saying pho? Is it not pho?
No.
I didn't know. I thought you said ramen or pho. I was like, I'd rather eat noodles than.
No, all right. We'll stick to pho, but pho or ramen.
I prefer ramen. Yeah,
ramen's got more depth and bone broth to it than the pho's just a bit.
The pho is a denser, more aromatic delight.
Yeah, well, it depends.
Look at
Mark's gone.
Like, oh my goodness, I'm shocked. But yeah, fair enough. They're both delicious though.
Should we quickly? Let's just quickly apologise then. So Mark's very ill. He's going to be coughing and spluttering. I'm a little bit nasally as well. We had some complaints on the sound issues last week. These will not be apparent today because we're back on our microphones. We wore different microphones because it was a in-person live podcast. So we will sort that out, everyone. But apologies right at the beginning for Mark's coughing and spluttering.
Sorry.
Do you know what? Part of me just doesn't even want to talk about the rugby. Like I'm happy to talk about Italy, Wales. Great, let's chat about it. But I suppose we need to cover it off. But we do what we always do. Max, you didn't play at the weekend. You didn't have to go out against Bedford.
No, I didn't. It wasn't a great day for the gents. We had a review today. Yeah, we ended up losing to the plucky men of Bedford.
No, I see. I didn't even tee that up.
Yeah,
you were out of the cup.
You just assumed dub. You just assumed dub there, didn't you? But
wait, are you out now?
No, we're not out. Just results have to fall our way. But
we'll
go to Ashton Gate and play the dreaded men of Bath, and that should be good fun.
Hey, what's it like though when you sidestep one of those landmines? I.e., you weren't playing, so
no, I don't. I'm a professional. I'll take any opportunity I can get.
Yes, very good. Okay,
yeah,
very, very
for those
good.
listening, Max is nodding and smiling.
Ryan, can you tell us quickly about you had a fabulous night just before the Six Nations on the Friday, where you put on an amazing event for 150 guests at Gaucho, and for all intents and purposes, everything I've heard, feedback has been tres good.
It came together. I love it when a plan comes together. 3 weeks notice. It wasn't quite 150, 110, but we'll say it was 150. But A very good day in all. We had a wonderful lunch at the Gaucho. It was teed up as a Simon Zebo, John Barkley special, me hosting as a build-up to the massive game that was Scotland-Ireland. And then we had some wonderful guest appearances in Sione Tuaplotu, and none other than Finn the Muscle Russell made a little appearance. So there were some very happy guests. It was a good afternoon, which I think added to my illness because I was hosting, so I had to drink, and then almost acted like a tour guide. Kong Rooftop Max took him over there where we went. Do you remember the rooftop bar? Took some of the old boys because it was very rugby. Do you know what I mean? It was very rugby. It was 108 men in a Gaucho restaurant listening to some rugby tales. There was no phones allowed and some good stories, and got a bit of the insight behind the scenes at Scotland. But also, this is another thing, and I've chatted to quite a few people about it recently, the whole Netflix thing. I think we need to cover it because everyone's going, rugby's, and I think it's Big Jim's narrative that's everyone's going off of Big Jim going, he knows what's going on inside. We fucked it for Netflix. We fucked it for rugby. We didn't give him the access. But I'm hearing a few other things, boys. I don't know about you, Max, but...
No, I haven't heard anything.
Completely staged. All staged. Yeah. All made up. It's like Netflix is saying... This is what you've got to do. This is the phone call you've got to make. Like having filming hour-long interviews with coaches and then taking what they want and making up sentences. And so that's what almost I've heard.
It's that manipulated.
Yeah, there's a storyline. They want it. They want Scotland to be down and out and then rise from the ashes and that's what I've heard. I've had a few conversations, like even like where they had like, I don't know how much I can say, but they had like Dewey pretending he was in camp, but he's not. He's downstairs, talking on the phone, pretending to. So a lot of it. It's I don't think it's all rugby's fault. So I'm going to stick up for rugby. Everyone sort of is listening to what's being said, and everyone just when someone hears something and they're like, "Well, it must be true. We'll just run with it." I think that's what's happened. So. I agree. We still need to give as much access as we can, and we've got to keep pushing stuff. But I don't believe everything you hear about that.
I feel like that's reality TV now, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when you speak to anyone who's been on something like that, Love Island, etc.
Yeah.
The producers are massively manipulating it, and they're basically giving you scripts. So it's not even reality TV anymore. It's pseudo-reality TV.
So, we got some good insights behind the scenes. The boys were good. And Zebo was very funny, very funny. You can imagine, like, obviously, we're talking up Scotland and he's just there laughing his head off. And I'm like, mate, remember you're in Glasgow?
The giggles hit him hard again. Oh, how good. That's an infectious laughter as well.
It is. Yeah. So, good afternoon. And then Saturday, very chilled, watched the rugby. Nice, relaxed day. It wasn't really. I was crazy golf with the kids and all sorts, but Sunday was another big day yesterday. It was
coming back to that Six Nations things, Ryan, what do you think would need to change in terms of the content, in terms of the product? Like you watch 30 for 30s or those preseason vibes from the NFL.
I think Unchained. Look at did you ever watch the Tour de France one?
No, I never watched that.
Mate, watch it. Incredible, fully behind the scenes. Okay, they're in the guys getting massaged naked. Sounds a bit weird that I enjoy that bit, and they're like swearing at each other, going off the chain. You imagine, right? In that it was literally, you could see it was completely unlimited, and maybe they did change some of the narratives and make arguments more than they were.
Yeah,
but I don't think I still think they weren't given full access behind the scenes, but also. No one's. I just think everyone worries so much about the swearing and stuff like that. Yeah. You've got to let them in behind the scenes and let them just go all out, because I've been involved with teams before and it's like, oh well, we're going to do some filming this, so yes, can no one swear? And you're like, well, that's not real, is it? It's not how you G boys up or fire people up, or you don't see the real people behind the scenes. Like you imagine if you went to La Rochelle and went in behind the scenes with Ronan O'Gara. And it was like, right, we're giving you everything. We're giving you absolutely everything. You can film everything.
Yeah, like fly on the wall vibes, yeah.
That would make,
and just that alone makes it
Well, it's like Living with the Lions, right? The greatest rugby documentary ever made. Why was it so good? Well, it was ahead of its time because it was the first time we got to actually see what a real rugby environment was like. Winning, losing, going out on the lash together, being together, the sadness of Doddy hurting himself, all these things, right? And you felt it. Whereas you're right. Unfortunately, the full contact stuff just doesn't feel as natural. And it doesn't feel as real, and that's what you're losing out because it's staged. So you just need to, embed a team into the background, and they just sit there, and you forget that they're there. Yeah. I told you one of my very good mates that I work with at Eurosport. He does that for the France football team, and he's there at halftime of a World Cup final in Qatar, and he's there getting the footage of what is being said by Deschamps.
Yeah, that's it.
And you're like there, and the players know him so well because he's just. He's just been there, and it's natural. It's not weird to have him around. It's not, cameras are here.
I guess,
and that's when you get the unfiltered gold.
Yeah, I guess you take that for granted when you're in it because you don't recognize how emotionally charged these situations are. Yeah,
but if you look at what's just happened there at the weekend, you imagine if you just filmed everything raw, unfiltered, and more of the rugby stuff, more of the narratives around the game and things like that. Whereas I think they've gone off and tried to get a little bit. It's just a bit shit, isn't it? Whereas look at England and actually just go after that game, watch that game, show more of the game and how it's done. It was an incredible game, such a good game, and then. Get Peter O'Mahony talking about it and look at his tweets. Did you see his tweets after the game saying that he was booed off the field and that makes it all that much better? I actually love that. Like, I'm starting to think we might be very similar. Except I don't like gardening. But you want to follow him in and go with Peter O'Mahony and have all that stuff of the fans booing him and then but I just don't think you see enough of that. It's like, let's stage a
you see one. So basically,
imagine they got a camera on Elliot Daly for like 80 minutes or 70 minutes of that game, and he's just itching to get on and do something, and he comes up, and then that's the moment. And you're like, well, that's an episode in itself. You can just base it on on that. But anyway, look, let's get away from quasi reality TV to actual reality.
Let's not.
Ryan, we've got to do it.
I know where we've got to go first. What was the first game of the weekend? Was it?
No, we're going to start with England France.
Was that the first game?
Yeah. No, it wasn't. It was Italy. Sorry, my mind's gone completely blank now because I've watched it in different. Yeah, you're right. It was. That's why I'm saying. Do we have to start there? Because my arrogance is back.
Do you reckon?
Oh, the English arrogance is back. It's back in full. It's a disgrace.
Yeah, no, the patriotic ecstasy is real, isn't it?
Max, you don't watch like stuff on social media, and I shouldn't because it makes me angry. All you had to do was go on social media after that game, and
wild.
Borthwick, best coach ever. Like he knew where we were, and you just got like, I wouldn't be surprised if you went back through the clips, you'd find the same bloke. About 4 weeks ago, and
Borthwick out.
Yeah. Oh man, it's like, and you hear the same stuff, and I suppose the players have got to say it, but they're like, thanks for sticking with us, the fans, and you're like, well, they weren't really with you a huge amount. They've been slagging everyone off as well, so, but they got it done, and do you know what? I think we've been pretty good. We have said quite a few times they are close. But I'd love to hear your take on it.
My take on it?
Because I don't know. Were France any good?
I'm going to be entirely honest here.
Oh yes.
Benjamin Kaiser worded it up in a weird way at the end of the game. He said that was England's game to win. All right, and he said they won the game. I'm sort of a little bit mixed over that because France in that first half potentially could have been about 27 points up.
Seriously.
What are we thinking about that?
100% France threw away. I know I'm really one-eyed about this, but it was far more about France conjuring up a loss. But England deserving the credit, don't get me wrong, like I don't want to sound completely ridiculous. They stayed in the fight and they were there. But how often have you seen, and we're talking 3 or 4 golden try-scoring opportunities being dropped
from guys who are absolute killers.
Exactly.
Some assassins, and they're like Dupont. Open
50-50s of like maybe, we're talking open goals. So we're talking potentially 15, 20 points being left out there and England scraping by 1 point. But again, that's going to make me, I know it makes me sound super bitter.
It's all contextual though. And it like the minute one of those scores happen, it changes the context of the game. So it's hard to say ifs, what ifs and buts and maybes. But yeah, France, it was a gripping game, but France couldn't grip it, ironically. And England.
Did Sean Edwards, what did Sean Edwards hear? What Sean Edwards said after? Didn't he say there?
No, I would love to know what he said.
The dropsies for the day.
Case of the dropsies for the day. Like they just exactly like you said, Max. They couldn't get hold of it.
But mate, there were some very strong performances though. So now, gentlemen, we enter a very, very interesting pickle for Steve Borthwick. What does he do with the 10 jersey?
But hold on, we said it on here. I said
no, I know, but then you're gonna pick a 15 who's not a 15 for club, who's played most.
That's right.
That's fine.
Do you know what? This is people are gonna go mental with this, but I wouldn't even mind seeing Marcus Smith at 12. I know he hasn't got the power.
The sort of the forward Farrell axis of Finn Smith and Marcus Smith.
Exactly that. Because if he gets a little bit of space and you've got a ball player both sides of the ruck. I don't think
Johnny
Finn
Wilson,
Smith.
Mike Cat. Oh,
Finn Smith was brilliant. He was absolutely fantastic, and he found his way into the game. But he was a case of George Ford, like putting people through holes, but also would have a little crack in there. Was really, I think he got the balance spot on, his kicking. Marcus Smith, I think you have to still involve him because he's so good and you saw him like a little bit wider out. He can break the line. So with him and Ollie Lawrence together, I reckon I wouldn't be afraid of seeing that.
That is interesting. That would be tasty. Would
you play Marcus at 10 and Finn at 12 or the other way?
No. I'll go Finn at 10 just so he can distribute. But you saw it. They switched around a couple of times in the game.
Because Finn's got more of a like sort of Geppetto playing style, doesn't he, than Marcus, who sort of puts the team on his back and breaks the line, etc., throws a million goose steps and makes something awesome happen. But on that, Max, so say they've broken the line and then they're on the front foot and then you've got Finn Smith who'll just get that ball out to Marcus Smith, who's now got a little bit more space to go through holes. He can skip through holes like any bloke. Get on that hard overs line, yeah.
And then you got Ollie Lawrence outside him. So I wouldn't mind seeing him like mix around with that a little bit more. But I don't mind him at 15. I thought he was good at 15.
But what do you think of Borthwick? Like in terms of the way England keep changing their squad. They changed their starting lineup more than most teams, I'd say, in terms of like major sort of changes across the board. Whereas like when you look at like Ireland or France, they have like an established core group. Don't get me wrong, there's still like the core guys like who are nailed in there, like Itoje, Genji, Will Stewart at this point. But like every other, like a lot of those positions have been really interchangeable. So I'm wondering if that's like a strength or a weakness. Obviously this time it paid off, but maybe that was part of the growing pains of this England team. I don't know. Maybe he's still trying to figure that out. But
also, when you're losing a lot, you can't just do nothing. You can't look. You can't look like you're doing nothing and be like, "Well, we'll be all right if we just roll the dice again." So, but with that fly half debate, there's a lot of the media, a lot of people online are saying, right, decides that's the debate's decided now. Kind of discounting everything good that Marcus Smith has done as clearly England's best player in the autumn internationals. And it's more or less based on one half of rugby from Finn Smith, who was outstanding to win the game. But that's, first half, he was fine. It was nothing spectacular. And then he's won the game in 40 minutes.
Yeah, but when was Marcus Smith good in the autumns? I think he was better in the second half where he moved out to 15.
No, he set up 3 tries. Well, I mean, he helped set up 3 tries against the world champions, against South Africa. It's not easy to score 3 tries.
He was pretty. England's best player autumn international.
But I would stick with Finn Smith. I think you still want to involve Marcus Smith, have him in there. I'm not just disregarding him and saying he doesn't need to be in there. I think you still need him in there. But that's how I would go. I thought Ollie Lawrence was brilliant as well.
I thought Slade played well, though.
Slade, yeah.
Tom Curry, unbelievable. He's still the Urukai, bro. Yeah. My God, he was mammoth. And then Itoje was like him for Tiger. Absolute nuisance everywhere, just lassoing blokes. Mate, there's ticker on the bloke at the moment. It's wild.
Just going on Tom Curry, Borthwick's been saying that actually he's getting better and better, and he's one of those almost like test animals that they what you haven't seen the best of him, which is quite surprising when you think of everything that he's already achieved in his career.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, like, he's played pretty well for Sale. Like, he's played, and remember he was part of that England back row that got them to the final as well. Like, he's still been around. He's still played very well for England. I agree, he's a test match animal, but he's very consistent back rower. Be interesting.
Yeah, I think there's a good few performances, but yeah, I don't know. You look at it like Bex was watching me watch the game, and she was like, "I've never seen you like celebrate so hard for a team in your life." When France scored that try I thought, end it. I'm giving it, come on. And Bex was like, "You don't even cheer this much for Scotland," because I knew what it was going to cause. And I don't know, maybe part of it's good. Now England, let them pump their tyres up a little bit for in 2 weeks' time when Scotland come down to Twickenham. I'm going to call it Twickenham, I don't care. When Scotland come down to Twickenham and played, maybe that's what we need. You know, we're licking our wounds, as they're saying at the moment, Scotland, after that game, and we'll get onto it. But let this blow the English ties up a little too hard, and hopefully we'll see what we see in 2 weeks' time, because I still don't think England were that good. They led for what, 4 minutes, was it, or something?
Not even less than 4 minutes in the whole of the game. Again, they won, so it doesn't matter. But.
Yes, I know, but France, and you're right, Benjamin Kayser, he said it. I don't. What was he trying to do there? Because I think
he was trying to be gracious in defeat, but
there's loads of arguments though, because you could go back and look at those. What about those shanks from Marcus Smith?
But there was like the lineup.
What about those kicks? Yeah, but what about those kicks? What was going on there? I was like, oh no. The second one, I was like, oh no. And then when Finn Smith stepped up and took the kicking duties, you're like, oh, pressure on the wee man. But he did well. So I was happy to see Finn Smith go well.
Yeah, mate, he was class. He spoke really well after the game as well. He just some boy. He looks like,
and you could see with like Freeman and that, Max, there was like a synergy there. He just sort of knows those boys.
Alex Mitchell as well with Finn. Like
Alex Mitchell.
That access is club and country now, so that's nice. That's nice. There's a good synergy there.
Did the boys go out? Do you know if the boys went out on the piss? Because they've obviously got a bit of time now between the next games.
I don't know. I didn't delve too deep into their hedonism, but
oh really?
Probably I should have. Yeah, I should. Maybe I'll have a look. See, but the Pine Riders were class. And I thought scrum time, I thought Will Stewart was highly effective, but Finn Baxter coming on, getting a cheeky meat pie. Obviously, Elliot Daly with the last gasp, like glorious score. Pine was very good. Ben Curry, instant impact. It was a comprehensive 80-minute game in the end.
Jamie George as well, his impact off the bench.
Jamie George with the line break, have that.
Good to see that. But
outstanding. But like you see how Finn Smith like attacks the line out the back of that pod of three. It's like it was just real nice. He's like attacking that disconnect, putting bodies in holes. Mate, yeah, it looks good. It looks interesting. But as you said,
is that are England solved now though? Have they? That's it.
I don't think it's quite that simple, Ryan. I think these things take a little time. I'm not sure if that's the eureka moment just yet, but it's a good sign of things to come. They're moving in a positive way. Also, Tom Willis, even though he wasn't like the headline getter, I just still think like those carries in that containment maul against the sort of the orcs of the defense, the real horrible monsters on that team, he can just still get you decent enough carries, and he's so hungry for it. So, I think he has to just stay in there. He's just such a big target for the pack to get behind for the nitty gritty carries. But yeah,
Mark, tell me this: Tell me this. Is this a real thing? Because I've told you before, I don't mind saying it, but we did some stuff with Arnold Clark with Blair Kinghorn, and we made Blair phone the most famous person in his phone book. And he said, and I said, who's the most famous person in your phone book? He went, Finn Russell. And I said, come on, that's not true. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I knew. And he went, no, I know who you want, but I'm not giving you who you want. And I said, you're going to give me who you want. I want. You're going to get. He was like, you want me to phone Dupont? So he phones Dupont. And Dupont, he was like, he won't answer anyway. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Phones him. Dupont answers. And you can see Blair's like, oh no, panics. Starts speaking in French. He's like, bonjour poulet.
Oh, this is too good.
I'm like, why have you called him chicken? But he said, good luck against the roast beef. Is that a thing?
Yeah. That's what you guys are. That's what Max, you guys are known as, le roast beef.
Did you know that, Max?
I didn't, but it makes sense. I mean, they don't do roast beef over there.
Yeah.
Because when he said it, he was like, "Oh, good, what is it? Bon chance against le roast beef." And I was just like, I was looking at him like, "Mate, what are you saying? Why did you say that?" He was like, "Because that's what they call England, roast beef." Then I've never heard it, but so there's
that is completely the term for
It's like how we call the French the frogs.
Frogs, yeah.
They eat the chicken of the mountains.
Yeah, true. So, okay. I just wanted to double check that. I didn't know if it was Schmog being weird in all his weirdness. Well, there we go then. So we didn't call that right, did we? Because I said France by 1. I knew it'd be close. I knew it'd be close, but
did you actually think it was going to be close?
I swear to God, I said it from the off. I said I genuinely thought it was going to be by 1 point. I don't know why that was.
Yeah, cool.
And then just a little mention to Elliot Daly. Obviously comes off the pine. England haven't done anything the whole game in terms of set piece, trying to cut them open. And all it takes is that one moment. Lovely little line. Sits on the short side, holds the defender, comes around, ball out the back, cuts a lovely line, goes through. Elliot Daly to save the day for England. It was... it was big. It was big. So fair play, and let it keep you buoyant, England fans. Let's see what happens in 2 weeks' time. It makes it good, though, doesn't it? It does open it up.
I love that you're almost cheery, Ryan. But the bottom line is England defeated France, and you just got
keep you up.
Yeah.
No, France lost. We've literally just said that France lost. Okay,
France lost. And to be fair, Elliot Daly, that's a great point. And you know what a player to bring off the bench to come and make that moment happen. And
if you agree with us, comment below. Did France lose or did England win? Make sure you drop it into the comments.
No, because it's good.
The way that England won though makes me think England win. England won it.
Well, the way
the game concluded,
dropped all those balls.
Be honest then, Max.
We're going back over old ground.
You know that feeling of...
I know we are, but I have mixed thoughts over this.
It's that time of the week again. I've even got my Wolf Craig gilet on, my Wolf Craig cap, to do a big shout out for those that are Wolf Craig distillers. You can head over to the website, which is wolfcraig.com. Make sure you head over and grab yourself a lovely bottle of whiskey. You can either scan the QR code, which is just over there, or head over to wolfcraig.com. There's also a lovely gin up for grabs, so go and grab something nice to warm your cockles.
When you're watching the game, did you get that feeling of we are going to win this, or we could win this?
I did, to be fair.
Yeah, after when I was seeing the unusual suspects not being who they usually are, I was like, there's definitely it's on.
Fair play.
I'll be honest. I started to think, oh no, this is getting away. England are going to win this.
I was like, there's no way we can lose it. Like we were kind of through for fun a lot of the times. Like, you know.
But England were getting a lot of go forward as well. Like at times they were carrying with ease.
But anyway, like we said,
a great result. Well done, England.
Drive the algo. Let us know.
Please pile into Ryan and myself And let's now continue. Actually, the Ryan pile-on. It makes good sense.
No, because we're going to the next game. Let's just delay the inevitable.
Okay, fine. Let's continue. By the way, if there are any other Franco-Welshmen out there in the world that don't share the same surname as me, let me know how you feel about how awful that weekend was of Wales getting trounced and England beating France, because it's it's pretty depressing. But yeah, Wales. Firstly, congratulations to Italy in terrible conditions. They did fabulously. And let's be honest, they never looked like they were going to lose that. They looked in control. That didn't feel like a scalp to Italy. That felt like
the food
superior.
chain. The food chain has changed. The hierarchy is fully different, isn't it now? They had a different aura. Man, Italy have become one of the most pragmatic teams going as well. Just feasting off the D. Little bit of indiscipline. Tommy Allen pops it over.
Yeah, what?
Slowly,
I mean,
but
how many points off his? 17 points off the tee for Tommy Allen. But do you know what, boys? And tell me if you think I'm wrong. I don't know whether you listened to the punch after. You had Dan Biggar, Jamie Roberts, and all they spoke about was how shit Wales were. Not once did they say. And you had Sergio Parisse in the middle, and I was like, Serge, come on, son, give it them. And he just sort of sat back, and I thought, okay, fair enough. He sat back and just sort of didn't go too big. But all they spoke about was how shit Wales were, and they never really got into saying, well done, Italy. I don't think Italy played amazing. Wales gave them the access into the game through all those penalties, and they kicked all their points really well. But I don't think you saw the best of Italy, which is quite exciting. You didn't really see, like, Brex was pretty good in defence, but Menincello and Brex didn't stand out hugely. So I think they've got more to give as well.
Yeah, they definitely have. I think they've got some more gears to go through, because I think that's what we were frustrated about in seasons past. Like, they had this sort of big, expansive game, but they would always come kind of short. And I think they're getting that balance right now. So, mate, it's looking very interesting. Like, set piece wise, they're hugely technical. That scrum, vicious. Fichetti's doing bits. It's looking rosy. Halcyon days for the Italians.
Like, you look at some of the wingers, like Ange Capuozzo, brilliant. Trula, was it Jacopo Trula?
He came on, yeah.
Came on and looked pretty, but they built something quite nice. I think I think they've got another win in them. I said it from the off, didn't I? I said they get that. And it sounds a bit sad that you're saying, they'll get 2 wins. But I think for them, they'll look at that and go, let's 2 wins, we'd be very happy. They've now beaten Wales back to back.
Draw last season, don't forget, guys. Like, is that, they are.
That was that Scotland game, wasn't it? Was it? It was.
But at the end of the day, also we said that there's this spine of Cannoni, who was imperious at 8. Negri, Lamaro on the flanks, Pagliarello and Garbisi. They finally got that like half-back partnership that's Brexancello, X Factor with Capuozzo. Look, I'm glad that we've started out. Let's start out by congratulating the
Yes, I love that.
Deserve to win that.
Molto bene. Molto bene. The only other thing, they won last year, and I think it's like it's the passion that you see in them. Obviously, they won and they were pumping, but you start to see, like,
level now. Yeah.
I thought they, like sometimes they're crying, and the celebrations
like
are starting to dip, which means they're like, okay, we know we should be beating these teams now. And I think everyone knew. I think the bookies had it. Everyone knew they were going to beat Wales. But Wales
that's when they lose in the past.
Years,
yeah, true.
So, and it's worth noting, Wales had never previously lost at the Stadio Olimpico ever, and they hadn't lost to Italy in Italy for years and years and years. But that's 14 defeats in a row. Doesn't really look like they're getting any closer to turning that around. I mean, boys, any progress, anything that Wales can look at and go, well, that was all right.
I think, as we said before, they're just in a stage where they just have to forego the underworld, get through it, and come out of it a better team. That's what's going on here. They're just going through a phase of real entropy, and it's the only way.
Did you see what happened to the world rankings as well?
They've now dropped below Georgia, yeah.
So it was quite funny though. They're like, and now they've lost to Italy, and Georgia had a big win against Netherlands. You're like, for fuck's sake, Netherlands.
Yeah, come on now.
Come on. Oh, well done, Georgia. What fucking...
They are good though. Those fucking Georgians, they can go.
Yeah.
Would Georgia beat Wales right now? I think they would.
I think it would be very, very interesting. Yes.
Who is it? Oh, fucking, my brain's gone complete. Is it Cockerell? Yeah. Richard
Yeah.
Cockerell.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Let me get on Twitter quick and see if old Cockers has been out there going, give me a fucking game against Wales. I can imagine. You can imagine him. And you wouldn't be surprised if
he's probably barking for it. And he's within his, be interesting.
It's hard, isn't it? It is hard because there's some good men in that Wales team. I know there are. There's some bloody good men in there, and there's some outstanding players. You're just not getting. I hate to say it, but I think there's got to be a change. I can't see why. But why could you? What do you reckon? Do it during the Six Nations? I think that's the only.
Why not?
Why wait? If you're going to do it anyway, it's not going to help.
I mean, just get onto it.
And it's like we always sound there. We never want to bag people.
When you bring a new coach in, suddenly there's this weird emotional galvanization, and then suddenly transformed culture. Anything can happen then. But yeah.
Well, I've always been anti. When we've chatted about this, I've always been like, I don't think anybody can come in and make a difference.
But now you're like, potentially.
Well, I'm like, for me, and this is awful because he's obviously a very good player, but playing Ben Thomas, who doesn't play fly, there are some positions I'm sure you can get away with that, but a fly half who doesn't play fly half for his club on a rainy day like that, I'd rather have just seen Dan Edwards, even just for the whole game, just go and put a kid in, fine, and then at least he'll learn more than what has Ben Thomas learned, that he doesn't want to go and play for 10 for Wales? Sure.
It's just there's something needs to happen. It's tough old times for Wales. I think we should just stop the podcast here and then let it be over. I think just let everything be over.
No, shut up.
By Stadio Olimpico, 60,000 people, again, shows that the Italian game is growing as well. They're getting more bums on seats out there. It is a wicked stadium. It is so good. It
is brilliant.
But then you imagine going all out there and it pissing with rain. You'd be gutted, wouldn't you? Have you ever noticed this as well? I can't remember. Was it Nolly Waterman doing the? But what about when commentators are like, the Italians, they won't be used to this rain? I'm like, it fucking rains in Italy as well. Like it does.
It's a fairly temperate climate.
Right.
You're like, they won't be used to this. It's raining. You're like, well, I'm pretty sure it fucking rains quite a bit over there as well. Like it, just some stupid comments being made.
There's definitely a couple in the Scottish one as well. But anyway, we won't get into that too much. Blimey, find it unlistenable. But just
wait, what are you listening to?
Just the comms awful. But Lions Watch. I know it's a really harsh thing to say at the end of that, but there were. I am scraping here, guys, and I know again.
I think we should be doing Lions Watch at the end because I think this round has butchered Lions Watch because you can go. Suddenly, it's pumped all the English boys up.
All the English boys, Scottish players are all gone.
It's just England and Ireland now. Before this round, it was like Scotland are going to have 10 players in there, and now suddenly you look at all the things. It's like 0 Scots. You're like, you fickle fuckers. You fickle fuckers.
Yeah, okay, we'll wait. But I was going to mention 2 Welsh players in Thomas Williams and Jack Moore, but we'll maybe fast forward.
Yeah, I get behind that 100%.
Thomas Williams still looked like a great player.
He's the man. He's class. Been amazing for Gloucester. Yeah, I reckon I reckon Dowie Lake could make it as well, mate. He's in a different team. He'd be a warlord hooker.
Yeah, because you look at the hookers, and actually, I mean, from Scotland, not being brutal, but like, there's no hookers there. You would go, they're going to go. England, Karen Dickey, I don't think, played that well, but Jamie George, he's been there, done it, so there's a chance of him being involved. And then Ireland.
Starting, it's got to be Sheehan starting.
How many do they take? They take 3, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see Derry Lake going. So, yeah, I think there'll still be a few. I mean, has there ever been a tour where they don't take any Welsh?
I mean,
surely not.
We had 10 last round. I mean, we pretty much made up the biggest numbers for the last 3 or 4 cycles. But anyway, we're certainly not going to be doing that this time
and
around.
Then that's all the time we've got left for this week's show.
Okay,
thank you very much for listening. What's the theme tune?
Right. Hit me with your thoughts.
Yeah. No, let's start. No, first, can we start, guys? No. Wait, Max. Let's start with the right way, which is Ireland. Huge congratulations and really showing massive Grand Slam credentials.
Yeah, I botched my prediction on Ireland. They're still the force that they
yes, you did.
They are not. Yes. They are not quite geriatric just yet, and they have a few more years left in them. Absolutely, mate. It's just relentless, isn't it? Relentless. Like, you got Andrew Porter doing the wildest things all game. He's charging kicks down. He's jumping on loose balls. He's making like 18 tackles a game. You got Prendergast, who doesn't even look like he's playing international rugby. Half the time, he looks like he's just on the common with his mates playing touch. But he's the most nonchalant, like 21-year-old at 10 I've ever seen. He's got antifreeze in the blood. Like, don't get me wrong, he can be a bit patchy in that. But at that age, like, imagine where he'll be when he's a little older. Obviously, he's got a set of absolute green hulks in front of him who are doing bits for him and giving him that front foot, being in the shapes he needs them to be. But, mate, yeah, Doris, Jack Conan, Bed's a freak. God, freaky athlete. And then Ronan Kelleher has taken Sheehan's spot. Then Sheehan comes off the bench and potentially the best hooker on the planet, maybe bar the South Africans. So
there you've got your Lions starting hooker.
Yeah, so it's Scotland had their hands full. And then losing Finn and Darcy, that collision was sickening. Watching oh mate, that was like just nightmare fuel. You know, that happens so quick and you're just out. It's the worst, that head on head in like D when it's on the drift.
I think he's broken his jaw as well.
It was a big.
Here, whilst we're sticking on Ireland, why do they put Cian Healy on the bench and then not use him?
That's a weird one, isn't it?
I think it's because I think the narrative around Porter for Ireland is that he's sort of a very crucial cog in like their KPIs as a team. I think just around. So
why not give a younger bloke? I love Cian Healy. I'm not against him, but why not give a younger bloke an opportunity on the bench if you're not going to use him?
I think it's Jack Boyle's the next cab off the rank, and he's as far as I know, very very good. He's a prodigal talent, but I think Ireland are standby sort of if you're good enough, you're young enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but I'll be interested to see what...
And I'm all for it, Keane. Fly the flag for us geriatrics.
Oh, no, I'm with you. But I'll be interested to see what people think, because I've seen a few things flying around going, well, what if you're not going to use him? Why have him on there? Why not blood someone, a youngster? So, yeah, our wonderful Irish fans in here, please let us know what you think. Is it Cross, the prop for France?
Yeah.
Mate, yeah. What about him getting back in?
Mate, he's a formidable athlete. I thought he played very well around the park. He was doing bits.
Yeah.
It
was Miafu who did the cover, and then like, you got these two lads who've come round. You're like, were you hanging around back there like huffing? And then
Miafu was Thanos, wasn't he? Every time he got the ball, he was just inevitable. Bloke never goes backwards when he backs out of his drive. He was ridiculous.
That was so easy to take you.
Freak athletes trying to stop him. Like, I'm wading through them. But anyway, back to Ireland.
No. That was so easy to take you two off of the Scotland Ireland game.
No. But we're always going to come round to it. So it's fun. I don't mind. We're always going to come back to it, right? I'm not letting go of this.
Well, actually, Look, actually, I want to ask you a question,
about
Ryan.
Scotland,
James,
right? What went wrong? What was
okay.
wrong?
Let's start with that.
6-2 split to start with. It's backfired. It's backfired. 20 minutes in, you've got outstanding pair of backs on there. Jamie Dobie's obviously, he's played wing plenty of times, so he's gone to wing. Stafford McDowell comes in. Tom Jordan, I thought, ran it pretty well. The fact we clung in there, right, in the first half, and it was 10-0, wasn't it, for however long, and we clung in there when Dewey got the yellow card, which was a pretty stupid yellow, but hey-ho. The fact we clung in there gave us hope in the stadium, and then it got to 90 and we pulled it back a little bit just before the end of the first half. And then we came out in the second half, and you're like, oh, hold on a minute, okay, things are starting to go well. But 20 minutes in, two backs, that's backfired. I suppose it's a stupid thing to sort of point out because those Finn and Darcy written off at the same time. Suddenly, you lose two of your best players that are going to help you fire. You're in all sorts of trouble. And I thought Stafford McDowell was brilliant when he came on, like his little assist for Dewey's try, and how good was the finish from Duhan. But that backfired a little bit. But the other thing is, if you're doing a 6-2 split, have some fucking power on the bench. Sam Skinner. It's like...
Who would you have had?
Well, that's the problem. We've got so many injuries in the second row department at the moment that it's like, why do a 6-2 split?
Right.
You know,
it's wrong.
It's more just go 5-3. If you, it's like you're like, oh, we've got these unbelievable beasts in South Africa. We want to use them all, but then Scotland are like, we're going to do a 6-2 split, and then you're just like, well, you haven't got the same. I think it was tactical to have Schoeman on the bench. Try and bring a little bit of power off the bench. Sutherland went well.
Played well. Very good roots.
But I didn't mind that because you get Suz starting and he's a great player, but then you bring a bit of power with Skewy off. Same with Ashman. Like Ashman brings a little bit of power.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gregor Brown again, just he goes well every time he's involved. But it was just exactly like you said, Max. They just started to go up the gears island. And
it's just
50 odd minutes, you just saw them. They just started trudging away, and it was like seamless. It was like, let's just go up another gear. And like I said, Prendergast was so good. Like, what the we chatted about it a few weeks ago. And we're like, who will we put in there? And he's suddenly you're looking, going, right, he's got to be involved in the lines. He's so good. Everything he does is just seamless, isn't it? The way he runs around the field, and he's an athlete. And so they were good. I'll give it to him. I thought I didn't think Scotland were that bad. I think everyone's made out that we were absolutely shite. I think Ireland just started clicking through the gears and they looked pretty dangerous. James Lowe again. Not fair.
He's
okay. Well, what guys? What I was going to ask you that, Ryan. You played against him. You watch him week in, week out. What makes him so good? Because he's not like burning pace or the hugest.
He's strong.
He's not 6'9". What is it about him?
Strong, and he's very strong, and he's got an I'm him. I'm Bruce Willis in Die Hard mentality.
He's childbearing hips, just boof, get off me.
Solid.
Like he could have a big baby if he wanted.
Yeah, like uses his body well to avoid being tackled. Like that.
And never gives up.
Blair King on that late footwork on Blair King on.
Yeah, and that's it. It's the late footwork. Schmoggy gets caught a bit. Yeah. He plants his feet.
I think Schmoggy thinks he's like gonna just take it up, and he's just jinxed it.
Skips around it. Yeah. But you're like, remember Nick Griggs, Squigs? He was like that, like power little fucker. And a few of the boys used to say, Squigs, like, how do you do it? And I remember Pete Horner was speaking to him in the centres, and Squigs was like, I'll always try and take that one more. He thinks when I'm done and I'm carrying, I'm just going to try and get that one last step before I hit the deck because it might get me through. And that's what James Lowe does. He's like, you're like, surely he's not, this is it. Like he's almost down and the defender thinks it's done. But then he's like, that one last jaunt of the foot gets him out and he's fucking gone. He was good. He was good, boys. So yeah, it was a long old day. It was a long old day at Murrayfield. I mean, we could go off the rugby if you want in a minute, because there was a very weird Avengers team in one of the boxes. I'll get onto it. What else from the game, Max? What else from the game? I think, did Scotland should we have gone for the corner and tried to put a bit more pressure on rather than go for the points?
I think you had to go for the points given the context. Yeah. I think that was the pragmatic decision. You lost first choice 10 and Darcy. I think it was quite a good way to get in, but then obviously Ireland scored after what was it? Those two shots at goal. Just tough. Like it was just the gain line battle. Like Omani was looked like a reincarnation of Richard McCaw at times.
Hold on a minute. Whoa. Wait,
no. I'm saying it was out of character. Brother was making loads of turnovers.
Oh, that is funny though, isn't it? Like, see his tweet. I've got a lot of time for that. I'm going to find it. Have you seen it, Max? Have you seen the tweet?
Very good, mate. No, let me see.
He's just straight up said a thank you to all the people booing me. It's made it all the sweeter.
He was a full-on bulldog. I thought he was class.
You've got to love that, haven't you?
The salt and pepper's real now, though, boys.
Oh, I think it was on. It was in. It was. He's big on the old gram at the moment, isn't he, Peter? Yeah, always a great win in an Irish jersey, but particularly at Murrayfield.
Particularly,
you little fucker, you. I'd like to say a special thanks to the crowd yesterday for the boos coming off the pitch. One of the biggest compliments I've ever received.
Very good. I mean, it's so good.
Yeah. No, I can't give it to him. I like
that
it.
Fair
I like
play.
it.
Total fair play.
Another little thing, and I needed to go and spend a bit more time. I haven't had much time to look, but let us know what you thought of Rog on the TV. I think brilliant. I actually I love Ronan O'Gara.
He just says
it as it is.
He says what you want to hear, not what you want to hear, but what.
No diplomacy. It's completely unpasteurized, unhomogenized. It's out there, and
the BBC will be like, "Can you make sure you don't say this? And can you make sure you don't do that?" And he's going to be like, "Fuck off."
I feel like that's what is it ITV wanted from Eddie Jones in a way, where they wanted him to go at people, and Eddie was lovely and sort of a really kind of magnanimous.
Yeah.
Whereas Ronan with the BBC would rather he probably did it because they're quite like they don't want that sort of heat, and yet that's exactly he is. So I mean,
well, you've got it the other way around because Eddie Jones, by the way, I don't think he's giving it anywhere. He's not giving his. No, but Eddie Jones is not giving anywhere near as much as I thought he would. It's like quite short one-word answers. And I'm like, come on, Eddie, give it a little bit. I thought he was going to give more.
I think he's left. He's left it now, hasn't he?
Oh, has he? Oh, tell me this, Max, whilst we're here. Is Genji and Will Carling's thing an actual thing? Or are they is it a play thing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, so Will Carling said the same thing. He was like, I think. What did he say? Will Carling said something like, and we'll probably be able to get the tweet up here. I thought we'd get a little bit more from Eddie. It's a bit boring. And then Genji wrote, "Yeah, I thought the same again about your podcast, but that's just boring as fuck," or something like that.
What?
And then they started going on each other. But then people are weighing into it, going mental, and you're like, that's quite funny.
It's all good. It's all just a lovely soap opera. But wait, Rog for the Wallabies job. Smitty's out. What are we thinking? That'd be cool.
He said he'd be interested. He said he'd go after it. Yeah, why not? I mean, there's a lot of chat about Franco Smith, what he's up to, where's he's going. Because obviously, but where's Checker going?
Back to Australia.
Where's Checker going?
So probably take over Australia, right? But wait, actually, Ryan, what does that result mean for Gregor Townsend, right? If we're talking,
he's in trouble.
Yeah, is it?
Nah, I don't think he's in trouble.
Well, if he loses to.
No, because I think they'll stick with him. They stuck with him for so long, no matter what. And everyone's saying,
okay, all right. If you lose to France and England, what happens then?
I think there's still an autumn tour coming up. He'll still do the autumn tests. I don't think it'll change. I genuinely don't think anything will change. I think they'll just wait for the contract to come to an end. I think is he? Am I right in saying he's contracted up until the World Cup?
No idea.
No, didn't even want to check it. Not bothered. Thanks, Mark. I thought you might check it whilst we spoke.
Okay, well, if you're giving me a bit more than
I think, Max, I think what it is everyone constantly going on about Gregor Townsend has this group of players that should be doing something pretty special. And again, you see the debates that are going on, and it's like, why should they, with this team? But you actually look at it, like that back row of Darge, Dempsey, and Ferguson, outstanding. They probably don't have enough power up front.
Just so you know.
2026.
2026, yeah.
When's the World Cup?
Well, not until 2027.
Okay. I see someone told me different the other day. That's interesting. But I just think all the chat around Sione, like that one player can't make that much of a difference. But I just go back. I'll go all the way back to it though. I don't think Scotland were that bad. I just think Ireland started to get up through a few more gears and they're getting better and better and better. And that's it now. I think Ireland are off and are running. Like they were a bit clunky last week against England.
Or do you think that's they were a bit clunky against England, where England actually athletically up to the task of like shepherding the freak show metahuman of the Irish?
I don't.
That's the case. England have savage athletes. They're just not the purring system like Ireland.
Well, we're yet to see. It all goes down to the big game down there now, which is exciting. It does keep it exciting. So, yeah. Well. Just let's recap on that. Ronan O'Gara, we want more of Ronan O'Gara. Even if he does say how it is with Scotland, he's like, I think Scotland are getting worse. That's what I think I heard. That's what he said.
It's amazing. It is amazing, though, the power of the commentator. Like, suddenly, as you're watching a game, the filter of their opinion shapes your perception of what's going on. It is so crazy how, easily influenced you are on a game. Like watching a game on mute and then watching it with commentation is completely different.
Yeah, that's true.
Genuinely.
Yeah. No, I'm with
they know not the power they have, these men. I think they do, actually. I think they know very well.
Right. With that in mind, we've got a couple of bits just to finish off with. We fancy rugby, first things first, sin bin and tonic.
I forgot.
Unbelievable. Okay. Just
hold on a minute. Now. Say that again, Max. Max, what did you do? You
forgot.
Oh, great. I'm sure all of our listeners who are so excited to be going head to head with two of their favourite podcasters are happy that one of them has forgotten. But anyway, sin bin and tonic, well done. Is leading.
How did yours go, Mark?
Awfully, absolutely awfully. Yeah,
all right, I'm going to win the next.
Didn't pick a single English player, so can I just point out some of the names that I've really enjoyed going through? We've got a lot of people in the rankings. There must be a lot because I'm somewhere around sort of 250 right now. But one of my favourites, Hock Tua Pelotu.
That is very good.
Whoever you are, let us know because you're clearly a legend.
Yes.
Tua Pelotu.
It's going to be some weirdo we know, and they're going to be like, it was me. We're going to be like, oh, fuck's sake.
No, it will be a legend because only a legend will come up with that. The greatest Schumann.
Very good.
Very good.
So nice.
And one that I thought for some reason I liked it because it was funny, but it's just so simple. They've just put an accent on this, so it's just Ring Rosé.
That works.
It's just so simple. So good job, guys, whoever you are. Good job with that one.
Oh, Jesus, thanks, Mark. Crikey. Real apologies again to everyone listening through the headphones.
Let's just do our quick Lions watch. Right, who has played their way onto the plane in Australia? Go, Max. Pick 3 players who've played their way on, and then 3 players who've played their way off. So harsh.
3 players who've played their way off.
You're out of order.
I'm going to go with. I think Tom Curry's played his way in, lads. I know the back row is going to be very competitive, but I think he's hit some serious form.
Let me pick one now because otherwise you're just going to say
okay. So one for Max, one for Ryan. Now pick another player that's got
Prendergast for me.
Prendergast you think after that game?
I think
Amazing.
he's played his way in. I think he's. And do you know what?
I
Andy
like him,
Farrell.
right, but I still
Andy
think-
Farrell was there at the game. He was. He came to the game because he's
Yes,
thinking.
man.
Plus, he probably he's watched him a few times as well before that.
No, but he was there to watch Scotland, wasn't he? And then that happened. So
okay. Third one, Max. Who else has played their way in?
It's got to be. It goes without saying, Jimmy Lowe's in, isn't he? Let's be honest. Have you played your way in though? He was always in, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was always in.
Yeah.
No, but
James Lowe's my man though. He'll be my second pick, 100%. Bloke is running like a greased deer.
You want another one from me?
Yeah, 2 each.
I'm gonna say Ollie Lawrence. The last 2 weekends, I think he is. I genuinely think he's done enough to.
Looks like a handful.
Yeah, and I'm going Ollie Lawrence, friend of the show.
Excellent. Pick a player that you think is now going to not potentially.
You're out of order, mate. You're out of order.
Now, how about this? That hasn't done themselves any favors.
Oh God.
Who's had a real shitter at the weekend?
That's too harsh. We're not that kind of podcast, are we?
No, we're not. I'm just on the note, right? So I'm walking down the hallway at Murrayfield in where all the boxes are, and like just one by one, I've turned round, and it's someone's like ruffling my mullet. I'm joined the mullet club, by the way, Max. You know that. And he's like, you obviously tell you're a rugby boy with a mullet. And I've looked around at James Haskell. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here at Murrayfield? And he's like, with this lot. And then also when he's done that, I said, at least I don't have to pay for my hair because he's had the old plugs, hasn't he?
Such which anybody's had plugs is the worst put down ever.
Yeah.
So
hanging fruit. Good for me.
Anyway, good to see him, old Hask. And then I've like looked up your mate, Alex Gray.
Was he there?
What does he call himself? What gladiator is he?
Oh wait, I need to show you this clip.
Oh no! Don't show me a clip. Just keep going. What gladiator is he? Apollo. Right. And then he introduced me to Shelley, who I actually know from Scotland, but he's like, have you met Sabre before? And I was like, surely you do not fucking introduce each other as gladiator names. I was like, what is going on? Next minute, Jodie Kidd walks around and I'm like, fuck yeah, hold on a minute. What's going on? Jimmy Nesbitt. Right, Jimmy. The girl from Atomic Kitten was there. Gordon Smart, a Scottish bloke. He's a legend, bit like presenter up here. It was just
Nadine
like
Coyle. She was there as well. The
Dean Coyle. And so I just wandered into this box with it's like the weirdest like celebrity Avengers crew I've ever seen in my life. I was just like, this is mental.
Cousin Stag do.
Yeah, there you have it. What clip are you going to show me? Are we allowed to show it on the podcast, or is it?
Yeah.
You're going to get
Wait. Let me just start from the beginning.
Right. Okay. Sorry for anyone listening.
All right. So for context, this is back in. Man, this is a long time ago, gents. 2010 potentially. This is a London Irish training, right? We're in the malls. We're in the mall trading, and Big Bob Casey's come out of it. He's rattled. Anyway, just watch the clip. Watch him pulls. That's Shaggy.
Oh,
we'll get a replay on that.
Yeah,
just chins him. We'll
that was a load of limbs.
The YouTube.
Yeah, there were. There's a lot of people just throwing windmills around there, wasn't it?
It's fucking funny though.
Bumper.
On the same team. But anyway, great time. Lives on in the memory. I'm sure Shaggy won't be happy that that's out on the pod, but yeah, good crack. Great memory.
There you have it.
Fabulous work. There was one person I needed to just say a huge thank you to. Did you see a couple of shows ago, or maybe it was last show, talking about the intro music and somebody's written a rap? Petrus Mare 7789.
Mark, please don't do a rap. Please don't.
I'm not rapping it. I'm not rapping it, but the words are quite funny.
Okay, try. No, you've got to now try and wrap it.
Yeah, put them on the, I'll try and wrap them. Put them on the thing.
No, Mark.
No. I
We'll
want
give you a
Max to
beat.
do it because it's so cringe if I do it here.
Max, don't do it. Make Mark do it.
So
Mark, you have to do it.
Mark,
Ready? We'll give you a beat. Well, no. Ready? Mark, ready?
Yeah, give a beat.
You go.
Yo. I'm the Englishman with cash in the vault, living in large in Singapore. No need for a hole. Got my condo in Orchard, the skyline so fine. From the malls to the beach, living life divine. Commentating rugby, listen to me. I'm Mark Edwards, DADOGG. Thank you, Petrus, you hero.
Oh, Englishman with cash in the vault, living large in SG. My God, you've written this yourself, you liar.
If I'd written this myself, I would not have called myself English, let's be honest.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah, very smart. No, double
Oh,
bluff.
he was so smart.
Shut
up, Wilson. Shut up. Right. In any case, thank you. Do keep those comments coming in. We had a lot of fun ones over last week on the Hugh James episode, which was great. And there was a recent one actually was quite funny as well. Oh, let me get this straight. But it said Elliot Daly showed some nonchalance after he scored because all he was doing was turning around to Wilson and going, that's basically what someone commented.
Well, how did they say that in their comment?
Well, I can't remember what the word was, but it was effectively saying, shut the fuck up, Wilson, or something. It was along those lines. But yeah, huge thank you to everybody for those comments. Do comment. But we are run out of time for this week. Max promises he'll do his fancy rugby for next week so that we can get back into it. But from Ryan and from Max, a huge thank you. And a huge thank you to you all for listening. And we will see you all next week.
Before you play the intro, can I just say, or the outro, I forgot to do my fantasy as well. What a fantasy.
James, you've got to remind me. I'm not good at remembering.
We're just giving people give them the one up. They're going to feel like they beat us.
No, I'm winning the next one.
Okay, should we have a bet on it? Should we just do it? Okay, hold on. 20 quid. All of us, 20 quid.
Yeah.
It's just between us three.
Next round, okay. Yeah.
Just between us three.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm taking this seriously. It's going to be a big weekend of rugby. Stay tuned. Round 3 in 2 weeks' time. But we'll be back next week. Love you. Bye.
More or nothing.
Yeah, but you just do it now. Do it now. Keep recording. We're going to keep recording.
Cash in the vault. Living large in Singapore. No need for a halt. Got my condo in Orchard. The skyline's so fine. From the malls to the beach, living life divine. Commentating rugby. Listen to me. I'm Mark Edwards. DODOGG.
G. You've definitely written that yourself.
I think I could even come up with that.